So now let's go to the point of no return, níbi tí wọ́n ti máa kó ẹrú lọ tí ò sí ìpadàbọ̀ mọ́. Once you cross this water, there was no return. Àwọn ẹrú tí wọ́n bá gbà wọ́n á kó wọn lọ. Èyí tí wọ́n bá yọ sílẹ̀ pípa ni wọ́n pa wọ́n, torí wọn ò ní fún wọn láyè láti padà wálé láti wá sọ ohun tí ojú wọn rí. Jẹ́ ká lọ sí point of no return. Let's go to the point of no return. My name is Badagry, the explorer. Please follow me for more exploring videos and subscribe to my channel. Thank you. Ọ̀nà yìí ni wọ́n ń pè ní point of no return. Nígbà tí o bá ti gbà á kọjá, ìpadà kò sí mọ́. Some cried, some died. Díẹ̀ gbìyànjú láti sá, àwọn díẹ̀ gbàdúrà. Ojú ọ̀nà yìí ni kànga ọ̀hún wà. Nínú kànga yìí ni wọ́n ti sọ pé tí wọ́n bá ti mọ omi tán dẹ̀ ka nǹkan tí wọ́n ní kó kà, gbogbo ohun tó wà lórí wọn ló máa gbàgbé. Yeah, this is the well they said. Once they drink from this well, with the recitation given, they forget everything they ever know. I am Badagry, the explorer. Please like, follow, share and comment on my videos to see more exploring videos from me. This is the point of no return, where all the enslaved Africans will be loaded on the ship. Níbí báyìí ni wọ́n ti máa kó gbogbo wọn sínú ọkọ̀ ojú omi. I don't know what these buildings were used for, but I guess it's for the Europeans. Ẹ jẹ́ ká gun orí point of no return gangan. Nínú bí lọ́n ti máa kó wọn wọlé tí wọ́n sì máa sáìn wọn láti tò wọ́n sí inú ọkọ̀ ojú omi. To explore is not just to visit places. It is to remember, it is to learn, it is to honor. Badagry is not just a place you rush through. It is a place you pause and listen. Here, history is not written only in books. It is written in the land, in the walls, and in the ocean. If we forget where we came from, we risk losing where we are going. This is Badagry, a land of memory, pain, resilience, and survival. My name is Badagry, the explorer. I am a cultural travel and adventure digital explorer, and this is my journey. Thank you so much for watching, and don't forget to subscribe, follow, like, share, comment on all of my videos you ever came across, so you can see more exploring videos from me. Thank you. I saw this art shop on my way coming back. It's really amazing, so I stopped by and get myself some. So I decided to visit the Badagry Heritage Museum before going home. Here in the museum, the full history is written, and here you can feel and see so many clothes. And níbí báyìí a máa rí ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ ìtàn àti nǹkan tí wọ́n lò.
The Europeans did not see anything bad in the slavery, so that's why they were busy selling the people out, then in getting some item, and that is why I said that during slavery, if you want to blame anyone for the transatlantic slave trade, even at all, even if we have to blame at all for slavery, we have to share the blames between the local chiefs and the Europeans. But where we need to blame the Europeans more is the violent aspect of the trade.
That's right.
Yes. is the violent aspect, because when we are having our slavery here, it was free and fair. There's no violence attached to it. But when the European came, they added violence into the slavery. That's why we need to blame the Europeans more than the blacks. And I've been to different places. The last time I went to Benin Republic, the curator there was saying the word slave, which me personally, I see as a racist abuse. Yeah, because by the time we are saying slave, so that means we are talking against those that were captured. We are not seeing them as humans. We are seeing them the same way the Europeans see them. So I told them that no, stop calling them slave, because they're not the one that sold themselves into slavery. They were sold, they were captured and they were sold into slavery. So rather, I prefer to call them the enslaved Africans. Yeah, because they were enslaved. So they were enslaved by some other people, so not their wish. And then this is the map that shows the movement of the Europeans from Europe down to West Africa. And they enslaved from West Africa down to the West Indies. And the West Indies, they work on the plantation, and crops like sugarcane, tobacco, cotton, rice, and bananas were planted. And whatever they planted, we harvest and we're taking back to Europe, thread cotton to textiles. So the goods were returned to Africa in exchange for more enslaved Africa. And because they walked through the Atlantic Ocean, so they come across the title called the Atlantic Triangular Slave Trade. And here, we are between Bahia and Bight of Guinea. So this is telling us the relationship between the Africans and the people at the Caribbean, especially in Brazil, in Cuba, in Haiti, and then some places like the North Carolina and then Charleston. So that shows that most of these people translated from here in Nigeria, Badagry, they were taken through Badagry port, then down to Brazil. And as they're moving, they move ahead with their cultures. And they still practice the cultures till the present day. And this place, we see the volume of enslaved workers that were taken each year. So this one, so from 1 million down to 12 million. So the higher the years, the higher the number of the enslaved Africans that were taken from each destination. And then this is a symbol against the transatlantic slave trade. When the enslaved Africans decided to take destiny into their hands, fighting for their freedom. Am I not a man and a brother? Is the question the African is asking the master. And he was asking because someone like him reduced him to the level he is. So if you look closely, you see that it was chained both the hands and the legs. Now, the first slave revolt was held in the year 1791, which is the recorded one. But there's one that happens before the one of 1791, so which we call the Stono Rebellion. So which happens in the year 1739, and it happens in Spanish Florida. So among the Africans and then the Galas. But that one is not recorded because they did not succeed the fight. The one they succeeded is the Santo Domingo Revolution. So which happens in the year 1791 from 22nd to 23rd of August 1791. It happens in Santo Domingo, which is present Dominican Republic, then down to Haiti, and it was led by Toussaint Louverture. So who first campaigned against the transatlantic slave trade. So this is what they now used to campaign against slavery in the year 1807, when they officially signed the abolition treaty. So let's see. Between 1640 to 1750, Europeans divide African country into two major Guineas. We have the Upper Guinea and the Lower Guinea. Upper Guinea, we have places like northern parts of Africa, like Egypt, Tunisia, Morocco. They were categorized under the Upper Guinea, while the Lower Guinea are the countries in West Africa, and they were divided into four major coasts. Each of those coasts was named after the primary resources they discovered. First coast is called the Grain Coast, second coast is called the Ivory Coast, third coast is called the Gold Coast, last coast is called the Slave Coast. The Grain Coast we have Sierra Leone, Senegal, Gambia, Liberia, and Guinea. Second coast is Côte d'Ivoire. So that's why they are called the Ivory Coast, because they have some elephants in Côte d'Ivoire. That's why they are known as the Ivory Coast. And the third coast is Gold Coast, and Gold Coast is Ghana. While the last coast is Slave Coast, and the Slave Coast is Ouida in the Republic of Benin, and then Badagry in Nigeria. So they were called slaves because out of 10 enslaved Africans, Badagry provided at least 6 or 7 out of 10. So meaning they get more from Badagry than any other destination. That's why they are known as the Slave Coast. So let's see, sir. So let's see the white slaves. So these are the white slaves. So the white slaves identified that not only the blacks, the Africans were taken as slaves. Slavery is a global business. So they also enslaved from other parts of the world. So over here we have the Arabs taking the whites as slaves, and then these are the Greeks taking the whites as slaves. So that shows that slave trade is what they practice globally. So it's a global business. Not only the blacks were taken as slaves, but when we talk about the white slave, so the white slave are just like, let me just say, like 5%. Or let me just say 10%, while the blacks are 90%. So they took more black than the whites. So let's see the next place. So they used to raid to get more enslaved Africans. So the iron sword and the dangons, and these are the chains, these are the real shackles used on the enslaved Africans. So the one for the male is different, and then the one for the female is different. And these for the neck of the babies. So there is this for the neck of the babies, and then these for the legs of two enslaved Africans. So they work at the same time, one leg for Mr. A and other leg for Mr. B. And these for the leg of one enslaved African. So this knife is called a branding knife. So they used to not write the names of the owners on the body of the enslaved Africans. So just like this, before shipping. So they brand them on their body to show that they belongs to their masters. And then this is the artistic impression of a tortured slave at the point of no return. So this is that torture at the point of no return in Badagry. So let's see. So these are the Africans going through inspections in a slave market in Tanzania called Zanzibar. So this Zanzibar slave market, and these are the rejected ones. So the ones they rejected, they are called the Macroons. And once they are rejected, the Macroons are not returned back home. They were killed immediately.
Oh wow. Oh goodness.
Yeah, so they were killed. The reason they killed us because they don't want them to go back to their villages and then tell them what they experienced. That's why they are killed, than to allow them to go alive. And these are the items for the enslaved Africans. So the items are the whiskies, the cowries, and the bracelets. So all these items are used to exchange along the west coast of Africa. Then after buying, so this is the matching of the enslaved Africans to the point of no return. These are their match to the point of no return on the straight line. The match on the straight line, and anyone that falls among them, so you latch them together. And if they're able to get up, they cut off their heads, remove their chains, and continue their journeys. And here is the barracoon. So I'm sure you have seen the Brazilian barracoon, where 14 people were kept, pending the time the ship will arrive to the Atlantic Ocean. Then here are the dealers during the transatlantic slave trade. So these are the dealers during the transatlantic slave trade. So here is a man called Prince Henry the Navigator, a Portuguese, so the man who explored the West African coast. And this man is called Captain John Hawkins. Hawkins was the first English slave dealer. And here we have Felix de Souza, so who was a major slave dealer during the transatlantic slave trade. He settled in Wida in Benin Republic, but he first came to Badagry before going to Wida, and he was there for 30 good years. So he was a major dealer during the transatlantic slave trade in Wida for 30 years. And also advertised the enslaved Africans. So he placed a different advert. To be sold and let by public auction, to be sold a cargo of 94 prime healthy Negroes. So they have different adverts, and most times they also sold on Black Fridays. Yeah. So the Black Friday sales, the Black Friday sales are origin from the transatlantic slave trade. So meaning the black to be sold on Friday. So that's where they get the document from, the Black Friday sales from.
Black Friday. Wow.
Last Friday. I knew it was reading that like that. I knew it was. Oh, I hate it going.
So this is the milking pot. So this is the slave milking pot. So on the plantation, they put feed with water for the enslaved Africans. And they surround the pots, put their mouth, or use their hands to scoop water from the pot. The drinking is survival of the fittest, because once the water finishes from the pot will not be fit the next day. So and there's no assurance that they're going to see water the following day. So that's why they're struggling to get water from the pot. So as they're struggling, fighting for water, they get caught at the edge of the pot, and their blood goes into the water. So with the blood, they still continue drinking.